Let us waste no further time. Gavin Hepp, welcome to Out of the Hourglass. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing so good, and I'm really excited. I'm a big fan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Big
That
fan.
means a lot. I got to tell you, whenever anybody says to me they either listen to the podcast or they like the episodes, it really means a lot because it makes me feel like I'm not just putting out my voice into the universe for nobody.
Yeah, no, I think you do a great job, and I think that the
Thank
content
you.
you guys are covering has been really awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. We definitely try. It's kind of wild. I mean, I'm not this will be episode maybe 244, which is kind of crazy. The consistency, I think, is the wild factor here for us. We've been just plugging them out, but it's been fun. I love it. So thank you for being a listener and now a guest.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited to be here.
For those that don't have the pleasure of knowing you, Gavin, can you just give our audience a quick who you are, what you do, and where you're from?
Yes, absolutely. So, with Webfoot Home Improvements, formerly Webfoot Painting, gosh, we've been doing that since 2003. So, Travis, my business partner, we started back when we were students at U of O. Our first entrepreneurial kind of experience. We said, well, we're going to be these great entrepreneurs. Let's get that first business out of the way. And
Mm.
that was, 23, 24 years ago, and we're still at it and having a lot of fun. Somewhere in there, we met you guys and helped us
Yeah.
kind of divide our roles a little bit, and where Travis kind of went to focus more on operations, finance, kind of HR side, and I took over kind of the sales and marketing side, and that actually worked out to be really, really good for both of us because that's kind of where our passions lie.
I feel like there's been so many like evolutions to Webfoot over even the years that I've known you guys. So it's really cool to see kind of where you've been and where you are now. I mean,
Yeah.
the brand has grown up in so many ways.
Yeah, I mean, brands have to evolve, and
Hmm.
as businesses grow and they take on maybe new services and things like that, it's hard just to be Webfoot painting when we have deck building and we do siding and we do all these things in the garage that we do. So it is important that it's evolving with your business and just staying relevant.
Has that been hard for you or anybody else who's been there for a long time to no longer say Webfoot painting to now Webfoot home improvements? Because it's been hard for me.
We still respond to Webfoot painting.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of folks are like, "Oh yeah, he owns Webfoot painting" and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's all great. I mean, we had a very strong brand there, and
you did. You did.
that's a testament to it. So yeah,
Yeah.
no harm, but yeah, it takes time to evolve when you've been something for so long.
Yeah, it's just part of the growing up. The more kind of services you offer, you're right, you got to change. What drew you personally to the sales side and like the marketing side of the business?
Yeah, so I've always been interested in like sales and marketing. I think when I was younger, I didn't know what it was that I liked about it, but like through college and stuff, I was really fascinated by why people make certain decisions.
Hmm.
So I studied marketing was kind of my major at the University of Oregon, and but psychology was my minor because I like to
Okay.
understand kind of the why behind things and how like people are influenced to make certain decisions and what are the things that go into making that decision. So it's always just been a kind of a curiosity of mine. And looking back, I've always been a sales. I sold used stickers door to door in second grade for a neighbor. I was an employee of a neighbor selling used
Oh, I love
stickers
it.
door to door. Yeah, I mean, I sold gum to people in middle school, buying boxes and selling gum. So I don't know. I guess I've just kind of had that mindset kind of built within me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is, you can sell it.
Yeah.
It speaks to, I did a podcast with Mike Freeman talking about his kind of evolution of, an entrepreneur and, into a coach. And he had his own little landscaping business when he was 10 years old with his brother. And I was like, the behaviors were there from the start. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of now you guys have made it into a business, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
It is cool, and when you get to do the things that you love and are passionate about, I mean, that's a big win for sure.
Totally, totally a big win. When it comes to sales, are you selling it now or are you managing sales now?
Yeah, so I'm actually managing a sales manager now. So,
Okay.
I haven't sold anything in a while. I guess I take that back. I've been contributing with sales for just our garage cabinet service. So as we
Okay.
developed our process for selling garage storage, I was heavily involved in developing that process. And then I've still kind of been some support. We don't have enough cabinet leads for two sales reps, but for kind
Hmm.
of one and a half, I've kind of filled in, when someone's out of town and stuff like that. We've been kind of really working on that part of the business to develop it. And so I've got to tinker in there and just kind of
Okay.
find out like what's the best way to sell these. And I've really enjoyed kind of defining that sales process.
You're managing the sales manager. So what does the sales team look like at Webfoot Home Improvements?
Yeah, so we currently have six sales estimators,
Okay.
and then we have a sales manager. His name's Nathan. He's awesome. He's been with us for, I think, 12 or 13 years.
I've met Nathan. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, for sure. We have a pretty young sales team as far as their time in the role. We have a couple seasoned folks that are absolutely crushing it, and then we have about four that are pretty fresh to the sales team. So we've really been diving into training. How do we get reps up to speed quickly? We
Mm.
sell a lot of things too. Sometimes I wish we had a simpler business.
Yeah.
But I want my reps to be able to sell anything and everything the customer wants to buy. So we start with, maybe one of our painting services, and then it's like, okay, we need to learn how to sell carpentry. Okay, we got to learn how to sell six-figure deck builds. It's like there's just a lot of training that takes place, but it's pretty cool.
I'd have to imagine that it even goes, the training goes beyond just your sales reps, even to like your production leaders. I mean, because of the services, the variety that you sell, the opportunity for those additional work orders has got to be huge here.
I think it's like a active awareness around like what else can we do here. So I mean, for most of our crew leaders, it's like good knowledge around what it is we sell and what those
Mm,
opportunities are. Like, do they have a concrete patio? Could we coat it? Can they plant that seed? And then
yeah.
we report on this every single week. What leads did our crew leaders dig up? We don't need our crew leaders selling that stuff, but find the lead. Let's get a sales rep out there. And I think we kick $100 to the crew leader who brings a bid opportunity to us.
Nice. You right now are really kind of in the role of coaching the coach. It means in terms of your how you work with Nathan, which is a really nice lead in to kind of part of why we're here today, is that you are going to adding sales coach also to your name here with Nolan Consulting Group, which is fantastic. We're thrilled to have you. What excites you most about even thinking about your role with Nathan? What do you love about kind of that coaching to coach relationship, and how do you look at that from a coaching other sales reps?
Yeah, I mean, training and development of sales reps and sales managers. I mean, I do love it. I mean, it is something that like gives me a ton of energy, helping them kind of find the solution, knowing where they are. Like, what kind of support is this person needing right now? Are they needing just someone to bounce ideas off, or are they needing some more direction there? That's just I don't know. It's engaging to me, and I get a lot of pleasure from it. But
Hmm.
it is certainly different coaching a sales manager because you're coaching how to coach and at the same time developing them. So that is kind of an interesting piece. And I have found it's a good challenge there because I haven't coached a lot of sales managers. I've been a sales manager, but now I
Yeah.
need to coach a sales manager to be better than I was because I was a fine sales manager, but an owner sales manager, I think we get a lot of distractions and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
less accountability because we're the boss and whatnot. But now coaching a sales manager, that has been a lot of fun, and seeing them thrive or have those difficult conversations and have those go really well is
Hmm.
really awesome. It's less about like the ooh, you won that big project, and more about, oh man, you hit that difficult conversation and it came out really well, dude. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's way more than surface level. You're kind of really looking at the specifics of how things went down.
Yeah, it's managing personalities more than selling a project at that point.
Yeah. And gosh, managing people is, I think, always one of the most difficult parts of having a business.
And sales reps can be kind of interesting to
Sure.
manage. There's a
You
lot
sure
of strong
can.
personalities there.
Yeah, absolutely. When you've got six and hopefully a growing team of more, that just means more growth opportunity, but also more personalities to really be able to one understand individually, but also to unify at the same time.
That's just it. I mean, we got practically a basketball team, like we have like
Yeah.
a squad, and which presents a lot of opportunities for team building and things like that. That's, a little different. You got, one rep, two rep, three rep. I mean, yeah, six reps. I mean, we got a group. There's a lot of shared learning that takes place, and there's a lot of energy we put into ensuring that is a really strong, supportive team. And I'm really proud of the team we have. And we have like the strongest sales team that we've ever had.
Um,
And they work together, they support each other, they answer questions, they coach. They all have their specializations, their unique like things that they bring to the table, and they get to share that with everybody else. So it's really a pretty cool thing.
I love it. Is this the most sales reps Webfoot has had at a time?
Back when we had our other business, Webfoot Concrete Coatings, I think we had maybe 16 or 18 sales reps
Whoa.
altogether. So we have had a whole lot of reps, and but now we're down. But this is probably a high water mark for the last few years.
Yeah, that's great. And it's with kind of the new brand too. You have a new focus kind of all around it.
Yep.
Let's talk about a topic that I know you are passionate about, and kind of bringing you into the sales coaching world, it's kind of fun to dive into the sales process and just
Yeah.
hear, from you how you look at the sales process, how certain things in particular kind of you coach to, especially how you look at it with your team. But something you said to me on kind of a call a couple weeks ago is, you really beat the drum on setting the table, which I
Yeah.
was like, there's the podcast title right there,
Yeah.
beating the drum.
Yeah, I mean, it
Why?
is something I
Why are you
deeply
passionate about
passionate
it?
about it. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a simple piece. They'd be like, oh yeah, no, I told them what's gonna happen, but it's so important. And when you do it right, it changes the whole course of the appointment. So yeah, I am excited to talk about setting the table because I think it applies to anything that you're selling. So I don't know, you want me to just kind of like dive in? What do
Yeah,
you
walk us through setting the table the Webfoot way. Like, how do you coach your sales reps to properly set the table?
Yeah, well, let's talk. I mean, first, just maybe about like the importance of it. All right. So,
Yes.
when you come to someone's home, like they don't know what to expect. They're probably baseline uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Someone's coming, they're not maybe excited about it, but they have no idea what's about to happen. So, you arrive to someone's house and they're just like, what do I do?
Yeah. Should I be here? Do you need me? Yeah.
So we get to catch them and just kind of set clear expectations. And really the goal is comfort. We're trying
Yeah.
to lay the path in front of them so they feel comfortable with you, comfortable where we're going, that they are at ease. And when customers are at ease, and they know where we're heading, we get better conversations, better back and forth communication. They're just in a nice place. So yeah, it is the most important part because we're laying the tracks for what it's like to work with me, with the sales
Mhm.
rep, what it's like working with Webfoot. Okay, they feel like, oh wow, I'm going through a process that feels good, and he's hearing me, and there's going to be opportunity to talk about these things, and I know what's coming at me. So it feels really great for the customer. It
Yeah.
also tees up really great future conversations, right? So we can use setting the table to tee up next step agreements. So at the end, if you're not ready to make a decision today, then we'll just set up an appointment maybe 3 or 4 days from now, just to have a quick conversation, just to kind of go over maybe questions that you have. I can set
Yep.
up, at some point, this is going to come down to dollars and cents. And
Mhm.
I'm hoping you feel comfortable enough with me that we can talk about budget and kind of the cost of the project. Now I've teed up that conversation. So when the time comes, they're not like put on defense. Oh, this guy's talking about money. What do I do? It's like, oh yeah, he
Yeah.
said we were going to talk about that. Okay, that makes sense why we're talking about it. So now I've set my future self up for success by just taking some time and laying down the tracks.
And it's a matter of minutes, right? Like it doesn't need to be this like huge like burden to like check off, from a rep perspective. Like it's kind of the introduction to getting started.
100%. I mean, this is all kind of the intro to bond rapport and stuff, just kind of making them feel comfortable. But it is 3 minutes,
Yeah.
maybe 4 minutes. During that time, we're asking like, during this, I'm going to have some questions for you. You're going to have some questions for me. I hope it's okay if I'm just kind of shooting questions at you. So permission to ask questions. Like, yeah, of course. Great. I'm hoping
Hmm.
that we can spend a little bit of time here just first talking about what it is that we're looking at, and maybe if you have any concerns or issues that you want to address right away. Then I'm hoping you can kind of give me a tour around the property. Just kind of walk me through, your house, the inside of the house, the deck we're building, the garage, whatever it might be. At that point, I'm going to go do all my measuring, and you'll have some time. You can join me, or you can go back to whatever it is that you're doing. But I'll probably need about 20 minutes to get everything measured out. I'll come back. We'll probably have some more questions. Maybe you have some questions for me. I know I'll have some questions for you. At that point, we'll sit down and probably talk about some of the costs of the project. So I hope you feel comfortable maybe having those conversations with me. We spend a lot of time measuring things and really get to know your house. So I'll have a pretty good idea of what the project's going to cost. Then at that point, if you're ready to move on to scheduling, we can talk about what our next available dates are. Or if you need more time, we just set up another appointment to just kind of review maybe questions that came up or concerns that you might still have. And then, just kind of laid it all out there. How does that sound? And they say, that sounds great. Okay. It's like, perfect. We put them back to this place of like heightened like anxiety to like a place of like, okay, I can do that. It's
I
like,
can tell it. You guys must do role playing at Webfoot, like with
yeah,
your sales reps. Cause
yeah.
the way you just rattled that all off was so natural.
it has to be conversational. It's
Yeah.
not like, and then I'm going to do this and this and this and this. I mean, it's got to just walk it through. So it does take practice. And we
Hmm.
say, you're driving around, practice it. Say it out loud. Don't do it in your head. Like, say it out loud. Record yourself doing it. And then we do, yes, a fair amount of role playing with trainings and stuff. And because that is the key to getting this thing dialed in.
Have you come across any of your either sales reps currently or in the past who, when they're kind of brought into the Webfoot way and you're kind of working them through what your sales process is, have any of them been like, "This is new to me. I've not set the table before," or been resistant to it?
I think it's been more of like not valuing the setting the table. Like, oh yeah, no, and I'll tell them I got 45 minutes. So
Right.
we'll be here for 45 minutes. I'll measure everything and then I'll give you a price or something like that. But not understanding, really get into the mindset of the customer. Like they're uncomfortable. Like even if they're not, like they're unsure, we want them to be comfortable. We want them to be sure because we get better conversations out of it. They're going to be
Mhm.
more inclined to answer, conversations around budgets and costs when they feel comfortable with you and what they're doing. I mean, some of this expectations might have already been set by the person that they met with right before you. Someone
Right.
came, they walked around the house, they gave me a bid. I saw them for 4 minutes and like, okay, so you're here, you're 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna get my bid, right? It's like, here's how we do things at Webfoot. We're kind of setting
Mhm.
the stage for how working with Webfoot goes. And I mean, very conversely, hopefully, to our competitors who just showed up. Yep, I see it, they left, they sent them a bid. We want them to see that like there's a lot of care and attention that goes into this. Wow, working with Webfoot is different. I can see why they're more
Yeah.
expensive. I can see why, I mean, the proposals, I mean, all those different touch points kind of like build this impression that like, wow, this company does things different.
Yeah, I mean, you are setting the tone for what's to come. And I love that it comes down to like they didn't always kind of value what that step could do. Not only is it setting the tone from a comfort level, but you're absolutely right. It creates so much opportunity down the line to be able to come back to the process. We've mentioned the next step agreement. We've mentioned we're going to talk about money when we all know, I mean, the price objections are going to happen, but now it's not a surprise because you've mentioned we're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about this. I'm looking, I want to make sure that we have, an open dialogue.
And
It's
then all you have
huge.
to do is follow through on the things that you laid out. And it's that simple.
Yeah. When it comes to the training that you do, like when you think about kind of this sales training at Webfoot and, the time that you spend, the time that Nathan spends with the team, how much do you allocate to this part of the process? Is it like, are you always talking about this?
Yeah, I mean, anytime we're talking through our sales process, I mean, I spend a lot of time on the importance of this. This is one that we role play because if you get this right, you
Yeah.
set up the next step agreement, you set up them not ghosting you, you set up clear budget conversations. It's like, it's really important because when you do it right, and all you got to do is follow through on the things that you said you were going to do. And they're
Hmm.
just kind of like, oh, so yeah, we'll set up the next meeting. Like, yeah, you said we were going to do that. And everything gets easier. The absence of setting the table too quickly or just kind of skipping it, you jump right into touring the project. And I think you just become more at the mercy of the customer. Our
Yeah.
system versus their system. We're certainly on their system, and their system is probably not good. It's probably based off other meetings that they've had or whatever, and they're not maybe valuing it, that appointment as much as we want them to. When we do trainings, this is definitely one that like we drill in because if you do this piece first and you do it right,
Hmm.
those other steps that it sucks when you can't get in touch with somebody,
Yeah.
and that happens a
Constant.
lot. I mean,
Yeah. Happens to all of us.
if you don't set up a clear next step agreement, like yeah, you kind of blew it. And it's
Yeah. You
sometimes
got
it's
to own
hard at
it.
the end to say, okay, I just want to set up another meeting. Like, well, why? It's like, well, because you're probably gonna have questions and stuff like that. But when I tell them at the beginning, this is part of our process. If you're not ready to make a decision today, we just set up another meeting in just like 3 to 5 days. It could be just a phone call, just to kind of review the proposal and answer any questions that you have. Now it's like it's a part of a process. It's not like, well, why I'm not ready to set up a meeting. It's like, well, we've already said we're going to do it, and then we do it, and you just get less
Yeah.
pushback.
The role playing component, we know how important it is. A lot of our, the sales coaches, even coaches here, love to talk about it, but it's always harder to actually get people to do it. Do you get any pushback with your sales reps on it? I mean, I can imagine that you make it fun.
Sure, I think role playing is fun. It's uncomfortable and silly, and you just like
Yeah.
this sucks, and that there is some vulnerability that just kind of makes it kind of silly and fun. So like something we introduced this last year is we do an all day quarterly kind of sales training. So once a quarter, we sit down with the sales team for a full day of training, and we go through a variety of topics that I mean, we train these topics every year. I mean, the intent of these is like quarter one, we go through the full sales process. And we're going to do that every quarter one just so people stay fresh on it. And we'll
Hmm.
do a highlight on exterior painting. And then in quarter three, we'll do maybe a highlight on interior painting or something like that. But there's just kind of these little modulars that are throughout the year. And every one of those involves, I mean, about 2 hours of role playing. I mean, it's a big
Wow.
part. We really just kind of dive in. All right, here's the lines that we're delivering, deliver it to them. Okay, switch places, deliver it to them, switch partners, deliver it to them, and really trying to drill in the practice of, I mean, it's easy for a sales manager or a sales coach just to kind of say, well, you just say it like this. And they're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I could do it like that. But you need them to like, no, do it, practice it. I was like, oh, that sounded bad. Like, okay, well, let's try it again. How do you make it in your voice that
Yeah.
feels comfortable and stuff? And they need to explore that and struggle through it. And there's always really good value out of it, to where it's like, okay, we have to do role play every single one of those, and spend a good amount of time at it, have a few different topics, have people switch around, play with different partners. And because that's where like the training starts to become real, like
Yeah.
really usable.
I'm really glad you said that because I know that there's a lot of people listening who know role plays are important, but don't actually do it because of the uncomfortability part of it all. But you got to make it part of your practice.
I think it should be in person. If you're doing virtual meetings, role playing virtually, I think is kind of
Hard.
that's not very fun. But
Yeah.
yeah, get people together and just make it part of your regular practice, so it isn't like a weird, uncomfortable thing. It's like, oh, all right, let's do it. Let's practice this.
So once, reps have practiced this, they've made it their own. Have you seen moments where there's been like aha, this felt better. This appointment felt better than what I was doing. Like how that kind of poor setting the table or lack of setting the table versus what they're doing now is like the game changer for them?
Yeah, I think it's like, there's a lot of things that go into sales that make incremental improvements. And I think for a lot of folks, the setting the table, the results you feel from that are in next step agreements and good budget conversations.
Okay.
So if people are having a hard time having budget conversations, or they're getting a no without, I mean, just like, the answer is no. Sorry, we went with somebody else, without having the opportunity to have those negotiation conversations, those price objection conversations, I usually say, all right, how are we doing setting the table? Because that's like the intro to all those things. It's not like, well, how
Hmm.
was your budget conversation? It's like, well, how did you tee up the budget conversation at the beginning? Because if you do that well, then you should have a better chance because you told them you're going to do it. Now you say, hey, we talked about it. Now's the time. I just hope you have some minutes to talk about, what the project costs. I don't know if you guys considered what the project might cost. Now it's kind of like the first step that makes the other steps smoother. So if they're having a hard time with follow up, they're not having those conversations. They're getting no's before they can really talk to the customer. It's usually, I would say, a setting the table issue more than like, oh, I did all my follow up. I don't know what, poor follow up. It's like, I think we missed something there.
A really good point. It makes me think about even my own kind of sales behaviors. And I don't even call myself sales. I talk to, a couple prospects here and there, and I tee it up for coaches to talk to them. I'm like, I know I do portions of setting the table, but there's probably better expectation setting that I could be deploying.
Everybody is in sales. Everybody's in
Yeah.
sales for one thing or another. I mean, whether you're trying to get your kid to do their chores or something like
True.
that, we all got to put on some sales hats and
Yeah,
do
yeah.
some motivation, some pushing of folks. But
That's a really, really good point.
yeah,
Everybody.
we have like some services like our garage cabinets where it's really a unique kind of customer experience, because I mean they're coming to us with just a problem. Like,
Mhm.
exterior painting, like I need to have my house painted. Like they know what they need. I need a house paint. With the
Yeah.
garage cabinets, they're like, I have an issue in my garage. I don't know how to solve it. And so this process of setting the table, pulling them out of the garage and sitting at the table and just kind of walking through, here's why we do all these different things and here's how that process is going to go. It's just so important for them just to get into the mindset of exploring this new project, exploring this problem and how we're going to uniquely solve that. So it's I mean, it doesn't matter what you're selling. There's this tremendous benefit to that setting the table.
Yeah, I mean, there's just in that alone so much education opportunity and like what it entails to complete their project.
Yeah.
You mentioned this a couple minutes ago about like, getting a no. We went with another company, and maybe it's because if we were to look back, setting the table wasn't, done as well as we would have wanted. In those situations, do you coach your reps respond, thanks for letting me know. Is there, can you tell me, what made the decision to go with the other company? Do you look for that information as to why you got the no?
Yeah, 100%, always.
Okay.
I mean, you get a no, it's like, can I turn this no into a maybe?
Yeah.
That becomes the battle. That's the next win is like, can I create enough doubt that that no just kind of softly turns maybe towards like a maybe? If you get an email that says like, hey, sorry, I'm with somebody else, I say call them right away and say, hey, I just following up with you. And they're like, oh, did you get my email? I'm like, oh no, I didn't see your email. What did it say? And they'll say, oh well, we decided to go. So, oh gosh, no, oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that. What led you to that decision? And then we're just going through all the things of, was it the same scope? How did they address these concerns that you shared with me? You said that was really important. Is that still really important to you? How did they address this that you shared with me? Well, they didn't address that. At that point, the win is, can I create hell for the contractor that they went with? Enough fear, uncertainty, doubt that they're just like, all right, those are some questions I'm gonna have to ask this other person. Or can we just get them just to, oh gosh, they didn't mention that. It's like, can we look at their proposal? I'm happy if you want to go with the other contractor. I fully support it. I want you to go with the contractor that you're the most comfortable with. But if you want me to kind of just look through the proposal to look for things that might be in there, I'm happy to do that. We see proposals all the time. I mean, I know where the things will be, and that's a win. You got to see proposal and you lost it, dude. That's a
Yeah.
win. Good job.
There's no harm. It's only a win to follow up with that to that no, because you're either going to get information out of it or you're going to turn that no into a maybe.
And that's a win. I mean, that's like high five and like, good, great job. That's awesome. Good job.
Yeah. I love that because it just teaches your reps to like follow it through to the very end. Even if you get the no, there's still more that we can get from it. And every job, every appointment, is a learning opportunity at the end of
Yeah.
the day.
An opportunity to practice too. I mean, so much of
Yeah.
sales is a game. I mean, it's a very fun game of conversations and leading people to certain things. And when you've lost a project, or like there's no way this customer is going to use us, they've expressed like, yeah, we're only doing the cheapest contract and stuff like that. It's like, great, this is my opportunity to really play with all these different word tracks.
Mhm.
You give them the temperature close, you give them all these different tactics to kind of just explore with them, because it's like there's no harm.
Yeah.
You've already lost it, so let's just at least get some fun out of it. I would call it, but let's like get some practice out of it.
Get some fun out of it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you naturally, Gavin, the way you're kind of just your personality, you would have fun with it. And
It
that's
is fun.
also, I think that's important because sales can be like such a weird psyche on the mind. Getting a no in a lot of folks, for a lot of sales reps, can really kind of beat them down and kind of deter motivation. And so, you're going to get the next one, but let's have fun with this one while we can.
Yeah, can you turn that no to a maybe? I mean, that
Yeah.
is the becomes the new win.
Let's switch gears a little bit, but I do think it connects to setting the table because it kind of relates back to that communication factor. And this is texting as a communication channel.
Yeah.
And again, you and I this came up. You and I were going back and forth, and I was like, texting is sometimes just like way easier, even with any of our clients. If you need something, you got a question, it's sometimes way easier to just shoot a quick text than it is to send an email, even do a phone call. But I've always been under the impression like texting is maybe a little bit more like personal. And if it's a professional, relationship, that maybe I don't have the place to do that. But you gave really, really good perspective on this. You guys do texting at Webfoot and you look at
100%.
it differently. Tell me why.
Yeah, I mean, all those things that you said are true, but I think, society is definitely shifted towards like a text first
Yes.
communication,
Yeah.
and friends text, right? We want to get to a friend like place with our customers. So like if a sales rep is having a hard time, like, God, I just can't get them to reach out. It's like, how are you reaching out to them? So I've been emailing them too. It's like, well, maybe email isn't the best form. Like we say, you email them, you call them, you text them. You got to find the channel that works for that homeowner. Because there are
Yeah.
some owners, they're not going to see their email. Their inbox is disgusting. It's just full. I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
you're lost in there. So you got to find the channel that works for them. Text, it is invasive. I mean, your phone buzzes. I mean, I have access to like your pocket. Like, just you have to look at it. You're
Yep.
going to look at it. So
I have to
yes.
put do not disturb on my phone and my laptop to do when I do podcasts because otherwise, like, it's
Totally.
intrusive. Yeah.
It is intrusive. I mean, I get spammed all the time. I got
Yeah.
senators texting me and weird things. It's like,
Yep. You're right.
Obama's not texting me right now. Come on, guys.
I know. I know.
But
It,
anyway, so we coach like at the time of sending your proposal, like we want to get to a place to texting because friends text. So at
yeah.
the time of sending your proposal, shoot them a quick text to say, hey, just want to let you know I sent you that proposal. Okay. They get back to you. Now we've opened kind of that channel of communication, and now we can say like, hey, are you free to talk? We were set up to talk Friday at 3. Does that still work for you? Or hey, if you call somebody and they don't answer, like I don't answer my phone. If I don't know your number, I don't answer it because most of my calls are spam.
Yeah.
But if you call me and then I get a text from you, hey, I just tried reaching you. This is Gavin at Webfoot. Hope we could just kind of touch base. Then you'll probably get either a response by text or maybe a call back.
Yeah.
So I
That's
think
a
that's
really good
like
point.
we have follow-up practices like call. If they don't answer, don't leave a message. Follow up with a text.
So are you not texting until, or like in general practice, not texting until the proposal has been sent and kind of that's a door opener? Do any of your reps ever kind of text on the front end, like, hey, John, this is so-and-so from Webfoot. Looking forward to meeting you later today. I'll be there at 3, like just to kind of open the door from like an appointment confirmation standpoint?
So we do text appointment confirmations through just kind of some automations that we have built in.
Okay.
So we get a text like, hey, confirming your appointment, and then a text reminder that your appointment's coming up.
Okay.
So we don't do a lot of texting beyond that for the sales rep. If they were, say, running 5 minutes late, I'd say, give them a call. Say, hey, customer, just want to let you know, Gab Webfoot, we're running just a few minutes late. Just want to give you a heads up. Those like, I'm going to be 5 minutes late phone calls are like the absolute best. I mean, there was a time when I called every single customer and told them I was going to be 5 minutes late just for he
He
called me to
called.
say he was 5 minutes late. He showed up on time, but he called me because they're blown away by this like simple act of consideration.
Yeah.
So those would be a call. And then, we have like Webfoot phone numbers. We want the customer to have the sales reps kind of number for texting stuff. So I think that really easy one is just that text, hey, I just sent you the proposal. Just wanted to let you know. And now we kind of can have that channel open.
I love that. That little hack though of calling and I'm going to be a few minutes late. That's so good. I mean, because you're right. It is a shocker because it completely is the opposite of what is expected from like a contractor appointment. You're
Yeah,
not going to
it's
be here on
here's one. It's
time.
so simple and so stupid and so
Yeah.
effective, but it just works really well.
I mean, you got to use whatever tricks up your sleeve that you can. I mean, the competition's out there, man. You got to do what you can.
This is the game part of sales that's so fun, Like I told them to be 5 minutes late, I showed up on time, and they were floored that I sent them a courtesy call. It's like, dude, talk about a good first impression.
Yeah. All right. So, folks out there, the texting is a great channel, but use it wisely in a sense, right?
Find the channel that works for them. I mean, you can certainly ask them like, how's it best to communicate with you? Phone,
Mm,
email, or text? I'd be like, I got just email me. So I don't know if I really like what's the best way to communicate with you. I think I'm going to try to lean towards text, and then it's phone calls, and then there's some emails too. So it's really you got to hit. We say you got to hit all three. I want you to email 3 times, call 3 times, and text 3 times. If like you're getting completely ghosted, like have you hit all the channels? But once you have one that's working, like that's the one you're going to use. So if email's working, use
mhm.
email. I lean towards text because friends text, and I want to be friends.
Friends, text. In the situations where you've done the 3 emails, you've done the 3 texts, you've done the 3 calls, left voicemails, no response. Is it then, are you like, it's time to move on, we're closing this deal? And of course, obviously you're doing everything that you can to train to get the yes or the no. We want a close rate where we
Yeah.
want the yes, but we also want the answer. When do you say to your reps, let's call this one done?
Yeah, I mean that would be it. I mean, it would be we don't often get completely ghosted.
Okay.
If you
Good.
set the table and you got clear next steps, and we're hitting all the channels, it's rare that we just get flat out ghosted. And if it does, we have scripting and stuff for the 3 emails, falling on the sword, all the different tactics to try to elicit a response. And if they've got nothing, we actually have a whole workflow that goes on for like 90 days of just like, trying to get a response from them. Your
Yeah.
proposal's about to expire. I don't know if you want to pick this back up. Just things like that. But we don't have too many projects that make it to that place because, we're setting a clear next step. We told them we're gonna, then we set the clear next step. And now all we have to do is call them or meet with them at that exact time. I'm going to
Mhm.
call you Friday at 3. I mean, we drill in very specific next steps. Like, it's like, yeah, no, just call me whenever. How's Friday? Does Friday work for you? No, yeah. Anytime Friday, call me. It's like, I'm going to call you Friday at 3. Does Friday at 3 work?
Very
Yeah,
specific.
whenever Friday afternoon, like Friday at 3, I'll give you a call. But like continuing to like hit the time and precise, not falling for any time next week. Yeah, just give me a call because they're not going to answer. It's like, oh, how about Tuesday? Yeah, anytime Tuesday, call me. Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Anytime, yeah, it's like, oh, I will call you Tuesday at 2 o'clock, drill in
Yeah.
those specifics. And now when you deliver Tuesday at 2 o'clock, we've just established how we work together, right? I say I'm going to do it on this time and you deliver on that because this is how
Hmm.
we communicate. If two becomes 2:30 or three, now you give that customer permission to blow you off.
Yeah.
That's how I would feel. I'd be like, yeah, you're late. Now I'm going to get back to you when it feels okay for me, because that's the new relationship that we've
Yeah. I've
established.
moved on to something else and I don't have time to allocate for this anymore.
Our commitments don't matter.
Yeah.
So when we hit those things just right and we continue to deliver on the expectations that we set, then we have better communication and don't get ghosted too many times. The worst is when we usually it'll just be like an email, like we went with somebody else. Those are us kind of getting ghosted where we didn't have the opportunity to have those price objection conversations.
Yeah.
Um, and then we just, like I said, go back to setting the table.
I love what you said about, well, having the scripts for kind of those challenges that come. But you said the phrase "falling on the sword." Brian loves that phrase.
Oh, yeah.
Did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
Create the situation where they're like, I have to respond. I don't want them thinking I didn't like them.
Yeah.
They're a nice person.
No, people are busy, right?
Yeah.
It takes, for me personally, I have somebody who's trying to get in touch with me that I don't really have priority or like real concern to get in touch with. Maybe I got a bid for like pest removal, bugs or something like that.
Hmm.
They might have to hit me like 6 or 7 times before I'm at a place where, all right, fine, I'll deal with this. And
Yeah.
I still want the service. I'm just not, we're just in a society where we got all these things coming at us. And so this expectation that like I called them 3 times and they didn't get back to me is just not how we work anymore. So you got to hit them a whole bunch of times until they're in a place where they can answer, and not be offended by that. I think I missed your question where we were heading, but
No, I think you got it. I think we hit it. Anybody who's listening to this here, I
the
think
situation
it's
of falling on the sword. Yeah. So when you
yeah.
get to the point where they really just, so like benefit of the doubt, the customer's just busy. It's not because they don't like you.
Yeah.
But if you say like, I just feel like I should apologize. I feel like I might have offended you or something in some way. And I just hope we can have just conversation. I feel like I must have done something because I've been trying to reach out to you and you haven't got back to me. And I hate for it to be a reason like I did something wrong. So,
Yeah.
and you'll get a text back, you'll get a call right away or something like that. They see
No,
that
no, it's
voicemail.
fine. Just busy. I'm
Oh
so
man, I hurt
sorry.
that guy. He thinks I'm mad at him.
Yeah.
Like nobody
Yeah.
likes those feelings.
No. Well, like you said, it's a game. It is all a game and you just got to have the moves to be able to make them.
Yep, different tactics, different strategies, and
Yeah.
it is fun. I think sales is so fun. If you don't like selling, then you probably shouldn't be in sales.
That's very true. What's the best piece of sales advice you ever received?
I think some of it is mindset driven. Like you have the right product, you have the right price. It's easy to let doubts creep in if
Mhm.
maybe you've gotten a string of no's, or like everyone's telling you you're outrageous, you're far too expensive. So I think it's just having confidence in what you're presenting. You get told you're too expensive enough times, you start to think like, oh man, we're too expensive. Like it's like, no, what we provide is far superior to what other people are offering. And yes, it does cost more money to deliver service like us. So how do we showcase that value? And it's okay to say, sometimes customers have to have a bad experience before they see the value of what we offer. And
Yeah.
that's totally within you're right. I get that. It's tough choosing a contractor, but I think that's mostly mindset, which isn't too unique of an answer, but like not getting down and having confidence in what it is that you're selling, because your price is the right price. The product you have is superior to others. And even though like someone doesn't appreciate it right then, stay strong and stay confident. People smell desperation. That like, how can I get you in? Like, it reeks. And
Yeah.
I guess I'm sensitive when I see it. It's just like, no, there's something, this guy wants it too bad.
Yeah. Moving on.
I'm feeling
No,
taken advantage of in some way. That
yeah.
just doesn't feel good. So just be okay with the no, being actually okay with the no.
And it just shows, working on your mindset, doing the role plays, that all helps with mindset, right?
100%.
That preparation allows you to go in with a more confident mindset into any appointment.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Proper preparation is the key.
Well, I think it's clear to anybody listening here that You are passionate about sales. You are clearly very involved in kind of not only the methodology of the process, but the psychology of it and kind of the tools to be able to utilize. And so from my perspective, it makes for a great sales coach. So we're really happy to kind of continue that kind of that process and kind of bring you on board and start with the sales jumpstart here or there, talk to you at the Grand Summit. Maybe you got a session up our sleeves. But I really appreciate you being here, Gavin. You just, it was fun. I enjoyed the role play. I mean, I've never seen anybody role play so naturally. Maybe Brian tries, but then you
Pretty
just
good.
went for it.
Yeah.
But he's someone who likes it. He's like, let's role play, let's do it. And
Yeah.
so, but I think when you've done it enough, then it becomes fun. So we just got to keep doing it more.
Yeah. No,
Um,
for sure. No, I'm really excited to be joining Nolan's consulting group as a sales coach. I love developing people. I just think sales is so fun, and I hope to help other people find that fun and enjoyment of it.
I think you certainly will. Well, and until the meantime, we're just going to tell everybody out there, keep beating the drum on setting the table. It is very important.
So key.
Okay. Thank you, Gavin. Until next time.
All right. Thanks, Molly.
Thank you.